So welcome everybody to this call, and I really do appreciate your time. I want to thank you for that, and I am going to keep this pretty short. I'm going to try and do this within 15 minutes just to give you a brief overview, and then I really want to open it up to chatting a little bit more about what we're doing here. All right, so I'm Dr. Barbara Fralinger, and just a brief little background about me. I have a doctorate in health sciences, college professor for 15 years. I started in network marketing in 2013, and I was able to, in a year and a half to 2 years, generate an income part-time online in my previous business, my previous company. And match my full-time income. I had no intention of leaving my job. However, I ended up doing that in 2015. I wanted to go all in with my business. So that's what I did. And I worked it full-time for 2 years. The reason that I switched to this current company that I'm aligned with now, Viseo, is because I felt that there was something missing in my organization with my skill set, right? And as an educator, I always want to improve, and I felt like I was working harder and harder in my business and just maintaining and not really skyrocketing the way that I knew that I could, because I always wanted to bring people on board who were just as passionate and motivated as I was to change their life, to really do something where they're providing more for their family, where they can, okay, I need to mute somebody. Okay, there we go. Where I can, where people really see this. And I also wanted to help people on many levels, both with their health and with their financial well-being as well. So when I came across my mentor, Rick Gutman, he approached me on social media about this company called Viseo, and it's a nutraceuticals company. And I was not looking at that point in time to switch because I was still making a good income with where I was. But the way he talked to me about systems and the way he talked to me about his business school that he had, and I know for a fact that no other network marketing company has a business school. And it doesn't just teach you concepts for network marketing, it teaches you life concepts. And the reason that I titled my presentation, creating wealth from the inside out, is because you can't do this or any other business or really reach your full potential, I think, unless you are building the necessary tools on the inside to carry the wealth on the outside, or to really get to where you want to go on the outside. And it's so true, because I came into my business, into this industry, and I had done a lot of personal development because I'm in the health field. I teach communication, stress management, all of those things. So for me, I had done a lot of the internal work because I had to. And when I stepped into network marketing, I found that, I could teach people how to do this, and I could teach duplication, and I could give them all the tools that they needed. But there was something that was stopping them from taking action to going to the next level. And I couldn't figure out what that was. So what he teaches us in our business school is how to become a wealthy person on the inside, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, technologically with social media, and also through time strength. That is such a huge thing, because in our society, we always want everything right now. And in business or in any kind of venture, whenever you want to do something, you have to have time strength. You're going to have to see a long-term picture in order to do the daily tasks. And you're going to have some motivation each day to do it. So by plugging people into this business school, they are growing. They're growing on the inside, and they don't want to quit. And that's why our retention has been consistently 70 to 94% each week in our organization, and why we are the fastest growing and the top organization in the United States in our company. We're currently in 12 countries, but we're leading the United States. So, and it's all because people are learning and leading with financial education. And it's surprising, all of the things, as an educator myself, who's been through every level of schooling, the things that I'm learning here that I did not know about from school. They just don't teach you these things. They don't teach you about systems. They don't teach you how to think like the 1% who are generating the majority of the wealth and the revenue. They don't teach you that. So that's really the coolest part about the whole thing. So I'm going to just go into a little bit about what we do so you guys can get an idea. And then after that, as you have questions, like I said, feel free to write them in the chat and I'll try to answer them. And then afterwards, we can talk a little bit. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I'm going to bring up this presentation. Okay. So what I want to talk about is this business of the future. And if you're looking for more time, more income, actual freedom, less debt, and better health, then you're in the right spot for all of those things. This is the first thing that we learn in our business school that really just made a whole bunch of sense to me, and it kind of, the light bulbs went off. This is Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. Now, my mentor, our leader, Rick Gutman, he studied with Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series. He studied with him personally for 5 years. And he brings us all of what he learned in those private book studies to our business school for free. But this cash flow quadrant really, and again, this was not taught in school, but it shows the 4 main ways that people produce income. You can either fall in the employee quadrant, well, and some people fall in more than one. The employee quadrant, maybe you're self-employed, you own a business, maybe you're a big business owner, you're in that B quadrant over there, or you're an investor, maybe you have some investments. So everybody wants to be in that investor category because that's when your money is working harder than you ever could, right? But the key is you have to have money to invest. So how does the average person, the 95 to 98% of the population who falls into that employee quadrant, start to generate enough revenue, right, to put away, to reinvest and in other cash flowing assets? So this is what most people don't understand, is that as an employee, you're only getting paid one way and you're not leveraging any kind of system. So you're trading time for dollars. If you are self-employed, you've basically bought yourself a job. And yes, you have that freedom of no boss because you are the boss. However, you still have to worry about employees and payroll, and you're the system, meaning that anywhere you go, your business goes with you. And a way to know whether you own your business or your business owns you is if you can go away for 6 months. And if your business is still there, then when you get back, then great. But if it's not, which most small business owners cannot leave for 6 months and their business be good when they get back, then your business owns you. So you still don't have any leverage. Plus you have to worry about so many other things, and there's very high startup costs with a traditional business. And when you have very high startup costs, it can range anywhere from 60, 70,000 all the way up to, $1 million. It just depends. So it just depends what kind of business you have. And then when you are in that big business owner quadrant over in on the right side, you are leveraging systems. Now, these are people like Richard Branson, right? And Oprah Winfrey, and Bill Gates. So what do they all have in common? They have systems, right? They have systems in place and they have CEOs. But the only problem with that is that they, you have to have millions and millions of dollars to even get it started. And you have to be classified as a big business owner. You have to have more than 500 employees. So the normal person does not have that. So how do we get people from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant? Well, that's the vehicle that I'm going to talk about, right? So on the left side, those people, their greatest fear is to lose their job. On the right side of the quadrant, their greatest fear is to have to go get a job. So the best vehicle in order to get from the left side of the quadrant over to that big business owner category without spending the money and without having all of those employees and all of that is through network marketing, which is what I'm going to talk about. So here's what your current options are. You can do a plan A or plan B. Plan A, you are an employee where your primary goal is security versus freedom. You work 40 to 60 hours a week and then you retire with a third of your income. Or you can be a small business owner and you have high startup costs. You have to think about credit lines, bank loans, personal guarantees, employees, all of that. Plan B, you can keep your primary income stream and then you can invest 5 to 15 hours weekly into this side hustle. And that's what everybody is doing now. Everybody has to have some kind of side business or side income. You just can't live now really on one way of pay or one income. So you could follow a proven system. You have very low startup costs. Okay. You can start a business for as little as $50 all the way up to $1,500 or $1,600 max, right? And in 1 to 2 years, if you're consistent, you can generate 26 to 52K plus, or in 3 to 5 years, you could be at a point where you're generating more than $100,000. It just depends on you, your goals, what you're looking to get out of it. And if you're engaging in our mentorship program, which includes a proven business school, where we are mentored 3 to 4 nights a week by multiple millionaires and they know what they're doing. So how does this really relate to the wellness industry and why is the time to do something like this right now? Well, if you look at trends, right? Trends in things in society, every time the baby boomers hit a certain phase, that trend skyrockets. When they bought houses, real estate went up, right? Now they're all getting to the point where they want to get off their medications and they want to do things that are more preventive and they want to get healthy. So that's why there is a wellness boom right now. And the greatest entrepreneurial opportunities are going to be in this industry right now. So Robert Kiyosaki, which we base our teachings on, he says the richest people in the world look for and build networks and everyone else looks for work. Now with social media, with technology of all kinds, you can reach people globally from your phone. And if you have a network or you learn how to build a network, the possibilities now to have your own business are endless, right? Now is the time. So network marketing generates $178 billion annually. It's been around for 140 years. The problem is that it does not get presented properly because you have people who are coming into the industry who don't know what they're doing and they're not mentored by people who do know what they're doing. So it gets a really bad rep. And then you just see people blasting products on social media and people think overall that it is kind of like a gimmick rather than a very serious business and one that can really provide a quick vehicle for wealth creation, but it can grow exponentially over time to lead to this passive income. So you're getting paid over and over and over again on the work that you do in the beginning. So it takes away the need to build your own system because you're partnering with a company and they have to handle all of the headaches. They handle the employees, the payroll and all of that, right? So systems and networks build wealth. A job does not build wealth because you're in the W-2 category rather than the 1099. So you're getting taxed at the highest percentage. That's number one. And number two, like we said before, you're going to probably retire if you're lucky with about a third of your income. And when you think about it, if you want to generate or you have monthly bills that are $2,000 a month, then you're going to have to generate $1.7 million in your savings or by the time that you retire in some way in order to have that fixed $2,000 a month from the age of 67 to 90. So my question would be then, what is your strategy to get that 1.7 million? Are you on your way there? Do you have something in place? Because if you don't, you need to start thinking about it. So the truest form of an invisible franchise or an invisible business is through network marketing. And like I said, the company takes all the risk. So this is another thing that's really, really interesting. According to Forbes, 30 years ago, 80% of businesses were tangible, hard assets. They were traditional brick and mortar. 20% were intangible, but today that's completely flipped. So business is becoming more like network marketing rather than network marketing becoming more like traditional business. So you look at all of the traditional stores that have closed because of Amazon, right? Toys R Us, Sears, some GNCs have closed. So 80% of big businesses are now intangible, right? Uber, Airbnb, all of these things, all of these vehicles, right, of wealth creation, first of all, they're online, but what do they have in common? They own nothing, they run everything, and they have a system, right? Uber doesn't own a car, Airbnb doesn't own a hotel, but they're tapping into a system, right? That's exactly what network marketing is if you do it correctly. So if you want to be a part of a system that disrupts, the industry of health and wellness, then you would want to be with our company, Viseo. All right, I'm just going to mute someone there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So what if we showed you a way to start your own business just like a franchise? So think about if you had invested in McDonald's when it first came out, right? If you had just put a little bit of an investment in McDonald's, what would you have done? And what does McDonald's do? It's a duplication, right? You plug into a system, and the more that you stay close to, that recipe for that system of duplication, the more successful it is, and it grows exponentially. So we're going to show you how to do that with minimal startup costs, very low overhead, no bank loans, personal guarantees, employees, or franchise fees, which is amazing. So anyone who knows business or who is in small business already is kind of like, wow, you mean I can build a business this way, and I can leverage my network, and I don't have to worry about all the headaches of traditional business? Yes, you can. So how? Through our business school. So we have live trainings 4 nights per week in a private online group on Facebook. And our teachings, like I said, focus on building the 7 strengths: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, technological, and time strength. So what do we use as our vehicle? We use our company called Viseo. And why is this company so disruptive? Well, first of all, probably most of the people on this call who are not already involved in Viseo have not heard of it. And that's a good thing, because whenever you're the first to bring something to the market, it's extremely lucrative. Okay? With our company, we have 10 different products right now. And why the products are disruptive, if you look right in the first 2, CBD oil and CBD cream, that is a huge $1 billion market. And right now, ever since the passing of the Farm Bill in December, it has blown up. So you have all these different companies producing CBD because it's now legal in all 50 states, right? However, what sets ours apart is that we're the only one with a US patent on the technology. And the technology we use is called liposome technology. And what that does, it increases absorption to where you can get up to 100% absorption, where every other product or supplement in any category on the market, you get about 10 to 15%. Because usually when things go into your body, the majority of it gets broken down in the digestive system. But the liposome technology that we employ protects the supplement as it goes through the digestive system so that it can get absorbed directly into the bloodstream. So we employ that technology with several of our products. And that's why we have done over 100 million in sales in just 2 years. And we broke every record every network marketing record. We did 11 million in our first month, and then we did 49 million in our first year. So over 100 million in just 2 years. We're already a debt-free company. We're in 12 countries. And, we're entering year 3. And in network marketing, it is, if you know that you're going to be part of an organization or a company that will be around for a long time, that's going to be what's called a legacy company, then that first 1 to 3 year period is termed pre-momentum. So with this release of CBD, I think in years 3 to 5, we're going to experience the biggest momentum. And that's when you want to, if you are thinking about building a business around anything, or engaging in a system, when it becomes popular, that's when you already want to be in and have all of your team and your organization set up. Okay. So this liposome technology is the new direction and employment of supplementation. So it's due to the low absorption that we usually have in most supplements and the bioavailability rates. So it's very low. And that's why people in the health field usually don't back supplements until now. So we have several pharmacists on our team. We have doctors. We have a lot of the science to back up what we're talking about here. So what makes our CBD different from everything else out there? Well, like I said before, we're the only one with a US patent on that liposome technology. So no one else can duplicate that. And so we get the best absorption. From plant to package, it's grown and produced in the USA. So no harmful impurities or something from other countries that you don't know what you're getting. It's THC free. It's 100% THC free. So that means that you can take any kind of drug test and you are not going to test positive for any THC, because the way that the CBD, the way that the hemp plant is bred, it's selectively bred, right? What that means is the THC has been bred out of it because very minimal containing parts of the hemp plant that contain the THC, they've just been bred over and over and over again. It's kind of like in science, whenever you want to breed and get a different color plant, for example, you breed a red and a white and you can get a pink plant. Well, that's basically what they did. That's what selective breeding is. But they bred the THC completely out of it by rebreeding over and over those minimal containing THC components of the plant. So when that happened, it's just not even there. So they didn't even have to use any kind of harmful technology or anything to strip of the THC. It's just not there. So it's organic compliant, it's non-GMO, and it's broad spectrum. Okay, so that means that you do have CBD in it, because some companies, they'll have full spectrum, and that's when you have THC in it. Okay, you have full spectrum. And then other companies, you don't necessarily know if you're going to get a maximum amount of CBD in it. Like it could have hemp, right? But hemp oil is not the same as CBD oil. So you have to really know what's in what you're taking. So why this company? Well, and why are we doing so well? It's because our CEO has built 2 other billion-dollar companies prior to this one. And only 11 network marketing companies have ever done that. And he's responsible for 2 of those 11. And there's over 40,000 network marketing companies. So Dallin Larson, he was an Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. He's the only one to get that for network marketing. And they give that to like Michael Dell of Dell Computers, Bill Gates, they don't just give that to anybody, right? They give it to people who are extremely successful in business. So then we have, the rest of Daniel Piku and Dan Zhu are the other co-founders and CEOs. So we have excellent leadership. They've done it before, and that's why they understand the international market, and that's why we're expanding, so quickly, and we're already in 12 countries. So these men know what they're doing. So you can really leverage this as a fulfillment center, and you're not going to have to worry about that end of it, whether or not it's going to be a legacy company, because we have the leadership. So what's really, really cool is when we talk about the different ways of pay, we get paid 8 different ways. And that's better than the employee getting paid one way, right? So there are 8 different ways to earn. And we teach you how to do all of this. So we do it for you, then we do it with you, and then you do it on your own. So this is a complete mentorship program. So you learn how the business works. And I would go into these in more detail if anyone wanted information. But the first 4, actually the first 5, there's 5 different ways that you kind of, that we could talk about real quick. So anytime you can get paid if you have a customer that purchases from you, you can get paid with this product introduction bonus is when you sign on a team member, like a brand partner, and they purchase something on their first initial purchase, you get a commission, 20% off of that. You get team commission and matching bonus, and those are the really lucrative ways to do it. So when you sign on and you teach 2 people, you bring them into your business, and then they duplicate that and they teach 2 people. Now you've multiplied your efforts 6 times. So that's like you working 1 hour, but your organization actually works 6 hours. So if everybody works an hour a day, you have 6 people in your organization, they work an hour a day, 5 days a week. Now you've only worked 5, but in actuality, your organization has worked 30. So this is how people, as your business grows exponentially and you just focus on teaching people how to teach 2 people, and that duplication process and keeping it simple like that over time and educating people about that system is how people can escape the rat race, and they can come in and they can leverage. You get 500 people in your organization, which can happen within 9 months if you are consistently, if you bring someone in, teach them 2 people how to teach 2 people, and then each month, if each of those people that come into the organization just sponsor 1, Metcalfe's law, it will duplicate, and in 9 months, you can have over 500 people in your organization. Now just imagine if 500 people are working 1 hour a day, right? So now you've got 500 hours per week. So now you see what the potential is. So team commissions, and then we have matching bonus, and that's the purest form of franchising because the company bonuses you for being a good leader. So basically, if your people come on board and you're teaching them really well and they take off, then the company is going to bonus you as a thank you, right? And then the global leadership bonus is profit sharing. That's the other one I want to talk about because that's really lucrative. Right now, that global profit sharing is ranging from $500 to $700 per week. And you can, once you get to that level where you can attain that global leadership bonus, think about what it's going to be in 2 to 3 years, even when the company continues to grow. And as we hit momentum, that profit share, that 3% profit share that you're going to get from global is going to be huge. And you can do that fairly easily because we have, I think 14 different ranks. And I think it's like the 4th or 5th rank from the bottom of where you can start attaining that global leadership bonus. So it's very attainable. Usually those pools are left for the people who are at the very top ranks, but not in this company. So that's pretty cool as well. So how do you get started in something like this? Well, the pattern is you use your own products and be your best customer. You merchandise out a small amount to people. So you're sharing it with people. You just, you see a need, you fill a need. And then you show other people how to do 1 and 2. So that's the pattern. And we teach you how to do all of that in the business school. And then the company is going to act as the fulfillment center. They handle the product, they take the orders, they ship it, customer service, they pay your commissions, and they handle all the headaches. So first step you would do is you would order an enrollment kit. And that's a one-time startup fee of $49.95, and that's it. And there are no monthly fees associated with this company to keep your retail sites open. So all you do is you pay once a year. If you were to sign up today, for example, you would have a yearly fee that sets in next year of $29.95. And that's if you decide to continue. So there's no minimum amount that you have to purchase every month. There's nothing like that, no quotas, anything like that. So you can just be a part of our business school and gain the knowledge and the learning simply by consuming your own products and getting that financial education. And as you build yourself from the inside out and you gain confidence and you learn the language of business, then you're going to want to share that with people. You're going to want to talk to people about that. Second step would be to set up your loyalty convenience program, LCP, which is auto ship if you get on the products. Again, that is not mandatory, but it is an option for you to do that, so that you are, if you are actively working your business, you're going to need more product to sample out. You know, when you merchandise out a small amount, and then being your own best customer, if you're taking the products and you like them. So because we're a health and wellness based company, we have, you know, several different products from weight loss, sleep, joint inflammation. We have the CBD, which is huge. We have weight management, energy. We have a core multivitamin that's superfoods based. So there's something there for every condition in wellness. And then you generate income using the system. So this is what I was talking about, teaching two people how to teach two people. So you can generate income immediately and start cash flowing if you let the person who enrolled you help you. That's what we do. We help you. We help you get your business started, and you earn while you learn. Okay. So if you start by enrolling two people, then you've officially then got a team, and you can start taking part in that team cycle bonus and the check matching. And then you teach those people how to get two people on their team. And then you get commissioned again by the company, a bonus just for being a good leader and teaching them. So there are lots of ways that this can really be, that generate a lot of income. And our company right now, it pays out 67% of all company revenue to distributors. And that's the highest in any network marketing company. And actually, we're maxing it out with our CBD release. We're actually right around 70 to 73%. Right now, we're maxing out and going over the comp plan just because there's just such a demand for it. And then the team bonus maxes out at $28,000 per week, but that is a that's the only one that has a cap to it. Check match is unlimited. Product introduction bonus, team commission, multiple business centers. The global leadership bonus is going to vary as the company grows. That's going to grow too. So you get paid 8 different ways. And then the check match, again, you're going to get a bonus based on how well your teams do. So if a team member, if they make $100 in team commission one week, then the company is going to bonus you 20% of that. So that would be $20 that the company would give you. Now, say you have 50 people who do that week, right? Now you're going to get paid $20 times 50. So, so the better that you do, and then that doesn't stop, because you get paid on 7 generations, meaning if your 2 people then teach 2 people, right? That's like your grandchildren. Then you have your great grandchildren after that when they sign on 2 people. So if they start doing really well, it's that whole duplication. The better that your McDonald's in a way, if you're an area manager and you're just setting up 5 or 6 McDonald's in an area and they're producing really well, then the more that the company is going to bonus you for doing a good job. Okay. So where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself becoming a wholesale consumer, meaning you can sign on as a brand partner, never actually work the business, but get a discount on the products? You could do that. And you can order products online, enjoy the health benefits, and share with other people. You could also become a franchisee partner, okay? And you can purchase an enrollment kit, and that's going to get you started. Set up, your loyalty convenience program or your auto ship, plug into our system, and we teach you how to do that. And like I said, you do your business school, like everything that we have in there is, in our group is recorded. So even if you're not there live for the trainings, everything is there. So you have a really good system in place for you to teach you how to do it. So with that, I am done. It's probably a little bit more than 15 or 20 minutes, but does anybody have any questions about anything? And you can unmute yourselves if you want to ask something. And I wanted to say at the end of that, if someone is interested in doing this and you want to enroll tonight, I am going to, if you purchase a business builder pack, then I'm going to reimburse you the $49.95 startup fee. So anybody who wants to really do this and is like, okay, I'm in, this is something that I want to explore more, then you can do that. And we can help you out, and I would reimburse you that $50 startup. Does anybody have any questions about anything? So let me see here. I'm going to unmute. You can either raise your hand or, okay, there's Victoria. We have Kathy, Nancy, Danny. Hi, Danny. Julia, Kathleen, you have any questions? I spoke to you earlier today.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Did you have questions, Kathleen? Oh. I tried to unmute you.
How about now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. No, you were very, I think we went over a lot of this afternoon. You answered a lot of my questions.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. I like the business model. I like the fact that you have a school.
Yes.
To guide you through the process, which is what's intriguing to me as opposed to any other online marketing that I've been investigating.
Yes. And anybody else? Dave, this is the first time, I know we've been trying to connect a little bit with our meetup groups. Do you have anything, that you want to ask or?
I just wasn't sure what this was all about, so I'm just listening and just trying to
listening in.
Yeah, just trying to understand what it was about.
So you own a business, don't you?
I do, but it's just I just started it, and it's for real estate. It's not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have several realtors on our team, and those are the types of people who do really well at this because they have a network, And they also, one of our, actually Rick was a realtor. He was a top 30 earner in the world in both real estate and the diamonds and gemstones industry. And that's why he basically started this, and he teaches us in the business school, once we make money in network marketing, then how to reinvest into other cash flowing assets like with real estate, which is really cool. So, if you have people, because when the market goes with real estate, it's kind of you're very, dependent on the market. And this is a nice way to kind of supplement when the market is down, right? So it's just a bad month in real estate rather than a bad month overall, and that's why we have several people who are realtors doing this on the side. So it's a good opportunity for that. Rosie, could you talk a bit about Enzyme Advantage delivery? Is it like liposome? Enzyme Advantage is an enzyme. It's with our superfoods-based products, okay? So an enzyme starts a reaction or it gets things going, and it's the best way for the superfoods, because they're basically whole foods, to get into the system. So that's why they use that rather than the fat bubble or the liposome.
And it goes faster. Doesn't it go faster?
It goes faster. Yes. So
because I felt it so fast with the core. It was a fast experience. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they've got exceptional products, exceptional leadership, exceptional compensation, and now we have the business school, which you learn from these people who have been in several different businesses. And I don't know if anybody who wants to talk about that, who's a brand partner right now, wants to talk about I know, Jay, you own apartment complexes and you've been in business and real estate for years. If you want to add to that, maybe, to even talk a little bit to what Dave has been saying.
I would just support the whole idea that this complements very well with the whole real estate. The issue with building a large portfolio in real estate is at some point you begin to run out of cash for down payments. And this is something that it can be scaled in an unlimited way so there aren't the financial constraints of needing additional money for more down payments to do more deals. And it complements each other well because the people who do well in network marketing are in a position where they're generating substantially more cash flow than they're using, for their normal lifestyle expenses. So it helps to feed. This becomes a tool to enable more real estate deals down the road. And
the same with traditional business too. So if you have an income stream, I've partnered with gyms, I've partnered with places that if they understand this model and they partner with other business owners and they, teach two people, you get two people in your organization, 2 or 3 people who want to run with you with this, and they understand business and they see the model, then this is going to generate cash flow that you can reinvest into your business. Right. So what small business owner doesn't want that? Right. So, and it doesn't necessarily
there are so many.
Yeah.
I was just going to add, there are so many people who have success in life from 1 or 2 dimensions, but it robs them in other ones. How many professionals do you know that are working 80-hour weeks where they have a great income and they have all the toys, but they can never use them? And
right.
This business model is just spectacular in the amount of leverage that can be created, because once you achieve a certain level and your organization is growing, it grows exponentially as you teach the duplication. All of a sudden, you are working perhaps 10 hours a week at this business, and yet you're getting compensated on hundreds or thousands of hours a week across the whole team. And
right.
It's very difficult in traditional business to generate that kind of leverage without having a very complex organization. And in network marketing, it's a really simple kind of an idea. You use the products, you refer them to other people who refer them to other people, and everybody throughout the chain gets compensated a small amount on each consumption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions or Julia, do you have anything that you wanted to, because I know that you were you're in my wealth creation group, correct?
Correct. Sorry, I'm eating.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
That's
have
okay.
Any.
You don't have any questions about anything right at this point?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. How about you, Danny? Danny, are you in one of my meetup groups, or did someone else invite you to this?
Yeah, I was invited.
Oh, okay. Did I invite you?
No, Carmen.
Oh, hi. Oh, okay. Great. Now, how about you? What's a little bit about, are you?
No, I'm exploring. I'm just exploring. I just want to know a little bit more about it. At the moment, I'm just.
You want to ask her then?
Yeah, an exploratory phase right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Mary, did you say something?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so both Dan and I were wondering about the LCP, the Loyal Customers Program. Is that right?
Yes.
How important? Okay, so that's when you got on that automatic reorder, and how important is that to be on that? When you start into the business, like to have. Like I'm going to start May 1st because I keep ordering stuff on my own. So I never got on that program right away. So I'm going to start on May 1st, like having something automatically every month. But just wanted to touch on that. Like how important is that affects your, I guess, payout, I guess was what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Okay. So let me start with one thing. Say somebody comes into our organization and they come in on a pack, right? And maybe I don't know. Maybe you spend $200. Maybe you spend $1,600. I don't know. But if you come on board and you purchased and you get on auto ship for what we recommend is that you get on 160 points worth of auto ship. So you can be on 100 or 80 points of auto ship or 160 and be active status, right? So let's just say you got on 160 points, and that's equivalent to $200 a month of auto ship.
Okay.
or I think it's a little over 200. Okay. When you take that and you think about, all right, if I do nothing in this business for a year, but plug in to our Overcome Nation Business School, get the financial education, and I'm going to spend maybe $3,000 total over the course of a year to learn from multimillionaires how to build business and financial education and how to improve in every single area of your life. Most people will pay that for like a weekend seminar, right?
Right.
You're
Mm-hmm.
getting that even if you stay on auto ship. And here's the beauty of this, right? You stay on auto ship and then the business keeps growing below you because you have team members who are adding to the organization, right? Case in point, my best friend has no interest in working the business, right? But I signed her up in the top, like in the very beginning of my organization, and she's just likes the products and has stayed on auto ship for the last year. She's got over 50,000 points accrued,
Okay.
which serves like a bank. So if she ever decides to work the business, because I've been adding people after her into the business and then they've been duplicating. So she really can cash into that if she ever decides to work the business. So you could be coming in just using product, learning, engaging in the business school, right? And spend at the most $3,000 if you get on the highest auto ship. Now, if you get on 80 points, that's like $100 a month, a little over $100 a month. Now you've spent $1,200, right? Plus whatever it was. Either way, you get that access. As far as payment and payout, what I would say is that the 160 matters once you get to the higher ranks. So whether that LCP is coming, whether it's coming from you or your customers purchasing from you, as long as your personal volume is at least 160 points, then you're going to max out the bonuses. Like instead of like the Star Maker bonus is $25 if you're on 80 points, but if you have 160, it's $50, for example, right? That's just one thing. But you don't really need to worry about the points until you get to those ranks.
Okay.
On those higher ranks. But being on auto ship is important if you are not building a business yet and you don't have customers to keep your self-active status so that you can keep cashing in on the team volume points.
Barbara, can I add something for a second?
You sure can, Jay.
So I just think that people can learn from other people's mistakes. When I joined, I got the founders pack. So basically I had 3 months worth of all of the products and I didn't know which ones I was going to want to continue to use. So I was hesitant to set up the auto ship until I experienced what I was really benefiting from and what I expected to run out of, and wanted more of. And what I didn't think about was the fact that in order to maintain my active status, when you hit day 30, if you haven't reordered, then you go into inactive status and you can still continue to buy at any point you want and all that, but you let points drizzle away, right? Yeah. And so the important thing to get on auto ship is so you consistently maintain your active status. It is no more difficult to go in and change what your auto ship is if you instead of A you want B, because of what you're running out of, than it is to place a new order. But it just ensures the consistency. And like Barbara says, when you're in a binary and there are people above you putting in people that impact your total volume, it's a stupid thing to let the points roll away. And
because it's like rollover minutes with your phone, basically. It rolls over and rolls over week to week to week as long as you're active. And like I said, active can be by having customers purchasing from you too. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you personally have to be on auto ship. So if you're like broke right now, for example, but you want, to have people, you talk to people about this or whatever, and they want to try CBD. I mean, that's the thing. This is a huge boom right now with that and other products that we have. So, you know, like even if you're broke, you could get a couple customers purchasing from you, get the commissions off of that, plus grow your business and still learn, right? Let us help you. And then you know, are in the business school, plus you are getting volume points banked. So even if you personally aren't on auto ship. So Mary is a great example of that, because you just even said you've been on since, I don't know, when did you come on board? Oops. What?
I think at the end of November, December, right in the beginning of December.
Right. So, and you still haven't been on auto ship, but you've maintained active status because you've had customers purchasing from you. You've been purchasing some product whenever you need it. So you have all the points that have been accumulating, plus you've been building your team at the same time. So you've been consistently cash flowing, right? So, yeah. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's up to you. However, I would say if you really don't want to build, you know, at first, but you want to, you know, maintain and bank points, then I would say that get on auto ship for something so that you maintain those points, because you could have somebody with a huge network come in underneath of you who brings in thousands upon thousands of points just by bringing in their network. And that's the power of this. That's the power of the binary. So, yeah. So does anybody else have anything, any other questions? Go ahead, Mary.
Okay. So, you know, our job is to duplicate and get people underneath us. And so if one of our people are having trouble,
right,
should we try to get them another person? Like if we know, put that under, like example, like my husband's under me as well, but I didn't count him in as being one of my two, which now I'm thinking, well, maybe I should. And then I try to help him get two. Isn't that our job? I mean, I've kind of heard mixed emotions.
Unless Dan wants to actually work the business himself, now you're working that. It's called kind of like a third leg. You know what I mean? Because now you're taking time away from the other people that you could be helping who are working the business, just to kind of build something over here that, you know what I mean?
I'm using him as an example too. Like I could help somebody, like my niece has signed up with me where we had our party with her a couple of weeks back, and she's struggling. Kathy's on right now, and she got her two, but then like the two that we get under are struggling.
Okay.
So should we help those two try to get, like if we,
Yes.
I mean, of course, that makes sense, but
your job is to try and help them get there too. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've heard you say this. You said that you put people, like after your friend got on, and then you put people underneath her. Like, what does that actually mean?
That just means you're adding to the legs. Like whenever you put people on your left side or your right side, like the points roll up. Yeah. Okay. So you are helping everybody who's in your downline, you know, by adding someone to the left side or the right side. Everybody that you've signed up before them, the points roll all the way up the tree. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's how it works.
I know. I'm still like, sometimes I can't fathom this system, and it's just taking me a while to, I understand it and I hear you, and I just feel like I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
All you have to worry about is talking to people, sharing, and then helping them get to it.
Right.
That's really all this business is. That's all this business is. And people try to complicate it, but that really is all it is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Thanks.
So, no problem. Okay. So, well, I don't want to take up too much time of everybody else, but if anybody does want to get on board tonight, like I said, I am waiving that $50 fee. If you come in with a builder pack, and just message me, you know, privately, if I invited you, or message the person that brought you on to this call, and we can get you started. All right. So everybody have a great night. Thanks so much. And I'm going to put this recording in our event so you can watch it again if you want to learn. And definitely feel free, again, to ask any questions later on after that. All right. Thanks, everybody.